Hello, everyone. This week we're going to jump into the entity retrieval model. There's two brief lecture videos by Dr. B. And just so you know, this is the model we will reflect on and we will think about as we move forward discussing information organization. Now remember, information organization is essential in the information lifecycle. If we don't organize materials in a way that people can retrieve them, then it's going to be very hard for them to be able to discover and read them. Next week, we're going to start into the retrieval side of the life cycle. So we're going to start talking about indexing, automated indexing, as well as manual indexing of materials, which is a huge focus in retrieval. So one other thing, I want to kind of touch base on as well is I want you to get in touch with your group members to start discussing your final seminar. Remember, topics can include information preservation, or it can be about information security, which are two other sections of the information lifecycle we're going to touch on. The presentations you should prepare to submit have to be between 15 and 20 minutes long. Don't go longer than 20, but please don't go any shorter than 15. Although all members of your group are going to be required to contribute to this, the final presentation should be fairly polished and look like it came from one single individual. So you want it to appear as if one person did the actual presentation. So some groups have chosen to like pick one narrator or use one template style and one particular font style. If they're thinking in terms of PowerPoint or whatever the presentation software they decide to use. However you decide to put this together, decide as a group. But it must look like it came from a single voice. And the reason, and you probably all know this already, so this is probably really repetitive, but like when you're developing professional presentations, they should be polished and well designed and look like they came from a single voice. So choosing the style, the appearance, the voice makes it really look polished. It makes it look really professional. And that's what you're going to go for here. Also, at the end of that seminar, at the end of that presentation, make sure you put in your contact information in the last slide. So like your name and your email. It's another good rule of thumb when you're doing, presentations. Always put your contact information in there. Projects like this are really important. I know they're collaborative in nature, and people dread the group projects. I always dreaded them when I was in grad school as well. But they're super helpful, and I can't tell you how helpful they are. In my entire career, and I know all of you are professionals, and so you probably, this is all probably really repetitive, but, I didn't start in the library sciences. I was, I worked in sales, and I worked in the hotel industry for a while before I jumped into grad school and started studying library sciences. I think my time in education, in particular higher education and working in libraries, collaboration has been key. Collaboration is like at the heart of almost everything we do. I don't know another profession. There probably are more, but I don't know another profession that is so collaborative as the field of librarianship and information science. It's almost like it's a requirement. So this is really a good final project to kind of sink your teeth in. It's also a good way to kind of like learn your own working style when you're working in groups. We all approach these things differently, and it's sometimes hard to do when you don't necessarily connect with the people every day in a work environment. But you'll figure it out. You'll sort it out. Now, everybody, the final project, everybody's going to share that final grade, but also remember that a quarter of the grade of the final seminar, the final presentation, a quarter of that is peer score. So you score each other in your contributions to the final project. So just to be really frank, if there's somebody who's not contributing, don't give them a good grade. It's as simple as that. Now, it typically in a class like this, I'm gonna assume that almost everybody is going to contribute. That's typically the experience I had in this program area is that everybody really contributed. So I've yet to find someone who just completely phones it in. But then again, that peer score at the end, that's a way that you can kind of evaluate each other, and that's important. So the group evaluation grade, it's weighted fairly heavily in the final score, and so if you don't do good in the peer score, you're not going to pass the final project. You're just not going to. So let's just make sure that there's an equitable distribution of the responsibilities for this project. And if you feel somebody's not carrying their weight, just reach out to them and make sure everything's okay. Don't always assume that somebody isn't carrying their load simply because they're not interested. Sometimes we have things that go on in our lives that are outside of our control, and sometimes it's hard for people to reach out and say, "Hey, I've got some stuff going on." So have a little bit of empathy for your colleagues here, but make sure everybody is contributing. And if somebody isn't, just reach out and make sure everything's all right. And you can always send me a message, and if you want me to step in and check in on somebody, that's fine as well, okay? But, the key thing is that final project, that's a collaborative group project. It really is a great experience. So, if you have any questions about that, feel free to throw it in the discussion board or email me. For some reason, I signed up for the discussion board. I don't know why, but I'm not getting those notifications anymore. For some reason, that broke, so I had to resubscribe to the discussion boards. I don't know. Sometimes Blackboard does weird things, but I should be getting all those updates now. So if I'm late in getting back to anybody, please give me a nudge on email. Let me know. I think everybody I'm caught up with. I got a lot of emails, a few discussion posts. So I just hope everybody has a great week. And remember, touch base with each other and talk about the final project. All right? All right. Have a good week, everyone.